No sé si fue el segundo o el cuarto.
He doesn't know if it was maybe the second or the fourth.
¿Estaba lastimado malo? ¿Estaba lastimado malo a través del golpe?
No, esto es boxeo, ¿sabes?
This is boxing. He said if he was hurt,
No era exagerado, pero sí que molesta porque sangraba.
It was difficult because he was bleeding a lot.
It looked like Sergio was having some issues in the first, say, 4 or 5 rounds of the fight. Did he feel like there was a time when maybe he might be behind or in some trouble?
No, detrás no, pero sí que supe que no tenía una gran ventaja. Que
he knows that he was
ganando con comodidad, con gran
he was not. He knows that he was very close, but he knows that he was winning the fight.
What did you think of Barker's strategy?
¿Qué te pareció la estrategia de Barker?
La estrategia. Tipo tragedia. ¿Qué le pasó? Bien, hizo un buen trabajo, pero estos son 12 rounds hasta que.
He did an excellent job, but this is 12 rounds.
Yo sabía que después del sexto round, séptimo.
I know after the 6th, 7th round,
mi trabajo iba a aumentar y después del octavo, noveno iba a ser más duro.
He will start growing up after the 8th round, and after that, he knows that he had the second win and. It was the end of the fight.
Es bueno tener un buen primer asalto, un buen primero o segundo round.
It's good to have a first, second round, and then.
Pero lo importante en esto es saber terminar.
But the most important is not how to start, how to finish.
Okay. Sergio, aquí está la pregunta. Tú dijiste que está disponible a pelear con Mayweather, y Pacquiao en 150 libras. ¿Tú crees que tú puedes terminar una pelea así de fuerte, bajando de peso?
The question was if he fights in 150, that he can.
Will he be able to have? Will he be able to have a second win, considering that he's going to have to deplete himself to make 150?
Espero que sí, espero.
Yeah, he doesn't know, but he will work very hard, and we'll see what happens.
Did Sergio overlook him a little bit, Barker? He talked about Mayweather, Pacquiao, a lot of stuff besides his opponent, and then had a hard start.
No, Barker era difícil.
He knows that Barker was very hard, and he never overlooked this guy.
Barker estaba hoy en la misma situación que yo estaba hace 4 años.
Barker was today as well as he was 4 years ago.
Y eso lo hace muy peligroso.
And that is very dangerous.
Tiene 23 peleas.
He have 23 fights.
What does he mean by that? Like, in other words, does he mean like that he's 4 years ago Sergio was unknown but hungry?
That's correct.
This guy was unknown and hungry?
The same way.
Okay.
Tiene 23 peleas, recibió pocos golpes, es un boxeador fresco.
And he never got beat up really, so he was a fresh boxer.
What was the most difficult thing to adjust to?
You mentioned that you get a second win later in the fight. Has that always been part of how you fight, that you always get that second win?
En los últimos rounds. Eso fue parte de la estrategia.
Mi estrategia dura 12 rounds.
I fight for 12 rounds.
Es un trabajo que lo hacemos con mi entrenador.
And this is my work that I do with my trainer all the time.
Solo hay que ver todas mis peleas.
If you see all my fights, you see I fight.
Quitando a Paul Williams, que se fue muy temprano.
Besides Paul Williams that he went to sleep early, everybody is a time. He won in the end of the fight, not in the beginning.
Did he feel like he had softened him up? Because the knockout punch didn't seem from where we're sitting to be the kind of tremendous knockout punch the way it was, say, when he knocked out Paul Williams.
Que si vos realmente lo lastimaste antes porque realmente no parece como un golpe tan devastador como lo fue.
Or was it? Do you think it was a great shot?
Hay zonas en el cuerpo que con un golpe se termina.
This is some parts of a zone of the body that when you hit them, you can finish the fight. You cannot be dramatic.
Y probablemente las sienten.
And that it was in the forehead. That it was the weak spot of the body.
Because Barker doesn't remember the punch.
Yeah, he said he didn't remember the punch.
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, he doesn't remember the punch.
He just said his legs went out from under.
No, claro, no lo vio venir.
No, he didn't saw it. That'll happen.
He didn't see the punch.
He didn't see the punch.
Everybody's trying to put you in with bigger guys. I mean, how big do you think you
Todos
can
te quieren
possibly
poner con los grandes, rivales grandes. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
Es grande, pero
let me put it this way: it's because you see him that he's a big guy, but he was 158 in the weigh-in, and after the weigh-in 24 hours later it's 165.
Hoy di 165.
165 he did before the fight, and now probably it's 160 or less.
My question was, how heavy are you willing to fight?
¿Cuál es lo más pesado que tú puedes pelear?
Conversamos. Hoy no.
Today I want to answer that one.
Sergio, at this point,
Well, I can tell you something. I will not allow him to fight in 168. Put it that way, ever. So whoever come with 170 or 168, my promoter and myself and our team, he will not allow. He can say whatever he wants, but he will not fight in a super middleweight.
Why?
Because he's small for 168.
Well, I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard was small. He fought Marvin Hagler at 160. I'm playing with devil's advocate. I mean, there's a lot of guys that Manny Pacquiao was 130. He went up quickly to 35. Went to fight Oscar at 47.
He can go to 150. And let me put it this way: in the press conference, he's the only fighter 2 days before that he have a cheesecake of New York, and he had a whole cheesecake. This was in the press conference. And a steak.
So who is there then for him in his own division?
And he had breakfast in the morning and he went 158. Why would she go to 168?
So who is there at 160 that makes a fight?
160?
You know, there's other guys with belts. There's Macklin. There's.
We need to wait for the next few days and maybe I surprise you, Rafael. So you never know.
Sergio, at this point, would it be, if you were to make 150, would it be dangerous for you to go solo?
Me gustan los grandes desafíos y difíciles.
I love the big challenger and the hard ones. I love it. It motivates me.
Eso es lo que más me motiva.
And that is the most motivation that I have.
Hay que reconocer.
You must recognize.
Es difícil.
That is very hard.
Motivarse igual para Kelly Public que para Darren Barker. Es difícil motivarse igual.
Yeah, you need to understand that it's not the same motivation to fight with Kelly Public that to fight with Darren Barker.
Sin menospreciar.
Without to say nothing wrong about this guy or underestimate it. But today he demonstrated that he come to fight and he's a great European champion.
You've got Miguel Cotto seems like the most realistic guy in your weight class. He's not fighting. He's fighting in 2 months. What can you do to make that fight? What can you do to help make that fight happen?
He will put an excuse on top of another excuse without the fighter. Like always he did.
Como dije, lo último fue el dinero.
The last thing he said is about the money. That was the last excuse of Cotto.
Would he fight him for Cotto's title?
If the problem is the money,
peleamos.
He will fight.
Y si él me gana, yo le doy mi parte
And
del dinero.
if he wins, he will give his money to him, but he will pay all this, the help, including myself. Thank you.
Would he be willing? He said he'd go to 50 to fight guys like Pacquiao and Mayweather. Would he go and fight for Miguel's title at 154?
Miguel?
Yeah. Or does he want to fight him at 160 for the middleweight title?
Definitely.
Okay.
No question.
Just making sure.
So, ¿tú crees que una pelea con Antonio Margarito sería más cierto? ¿Sería más posible si gana la pelea?
Margarito no tiene problemas en tomar el combate conmigo, no tendría problemas.
Margarito, he will fight him with no problem. The problem is Cotto.
Si Margarito hace una buena pelea con Cotto y gana,
If Margarito he win and he beat him real like he did the last time,
es una pelea que muchos quieren ver.
everybody wants to see the rematch. I will do it in a heartbeat. What is my promoter?
Do you plan on being at the Cotto Margarito fight?
Si tengo tiempo voy ahí, si puedo, depende de los viajes.
Depending of we have a lot of charity events, so we don't know in this moment this if it will be available for that day.
It's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
How do you feel with your promotion? How do you feel with your promoter?
¿Cómo te sentís con tu promotor?
Estupendamente, excelente. Muy bien.
Very good.
Fue quien me abrió las puertas aquí en Estados Unidos, eso se lo agradezco toda la vida.
Is the one that they opened the door for him, and all his life he will be thankful to Ludi Vela. Write it down, please, Dad. Because it's all full of fucking secrets in this boxing. Many boxing, many champions. El Presidente. El Presidente.
There's only one thing left, Harrison.
I'm not in boxing.
Back on the road, baby. Thank you, sir.